Shalom. More give all praises, honor, and glory. Alright, to Yahweh Shem Shai in the Hebrew, Kalala Demla, Yahweh Shem Shai, Shem Kakodash, the brothers, the apostles of Graven Stone, and Shalom to the Akim pushing his words sincerely and in truth. Alright, hopefully this lesson is edifying. Alright, let's go.
This comment is asking if I could prove that all 2,000 of the billionaires are evil people. Yeah, I can. It's not even very hard. So first, let's put a billion into perspective. 1 million seconds is about 12 days. 1 billion seconds is just under 32 years. Which means that if you earned $1 every single second and never spent any of it, it would take you about 32 years to earn a single $1 billion. If you earned $5,000 a day from the time that Columbus started his infamous voyage, it would take you about 527 years to earn a single $1 billion. And there are people out there with multiple billions of dollars. Based on that math, we can conclude that there's no ethical way to acquire $1 billion because there's no physically possible way to earn that money solely through the value of your own labor.
Right, so as I can see, as him say, putting it into perspective, there is no way for us, there's no way for anyone to actually become a billionaire just by working alone, just by going to work or 9 to 5 or starting a business. There's no ethical way of reaching that point, right? Within a lifetime, basically. So we know that a majority of the men that are at that level, the level of being a billionaire, right? This gives an idea of how these men actually get to that stage. And as I can see, over 2,000 billionaires exist in the world. Right? And this let me just say, this video is just about billionaires. Talk about the actual elites, right? The banking families, the bankers, right? Who are actually trillionaires, right? The ones that actually own resources, right? The ones that own the banks, right? The ones that control money. Seeing? Right, this video not even a touch upon them Monday, right? Just a talk about the billionaires them, right? So to put into perspective, just Jeff Bezos, and other men, right, who are so-called billionaires, didn't reach that level solely by putting in hard work. Continue.
Which means that in order to become a billionaire, you have to steal the labor value of thousands, if not millions of people. And we know that this is the case. And we know that this is the case because between 1979 and 2021, the average productivity, meaning the average amount of labor value produced by the workers, has increased by 64.6%.
Right, so the labor has increased, right? Labor has increased,
Meanwhile, the average wage of workers has only increased by about 17.3%. That's a difference of...
Right, so the money where you get paid for your labor has only increased by a little, right? But productivity itself, meaning the amount of work that's being done, right, it has become greater, right? So there's more, you can say there's more people employed, or the people that are employed are actually doing more work, are putting in more work, right? But it is impossible for these people who are working to actually become billionaires just by working. See, the most them can do is maybe become a millionaire, and they can't, and them still not gonna be able to achieve that by just working. right? Them couldn't work 2, 3, 4 jobs. Them not reach that level, right? Them literally have to have something else going on the side. Seen? So again, that just puts into perspective the kind of world that we're living in, right? And the scriptures tell you about rich. It tell you about the rich. It tell you about the ones that actually rule the world that we're living in. The ones that have power, right? So these men that have the power use their power, as this man said, to steal the labor of millions of people, right? So in other words, people are work, but them not getting the payment or the wages, you know what I mean, that the work is valued at. Right? Let me say it again. People are working, but they are not getting the wages value, right, for their work. Them not get the value for them work. Seen? Right? And this is Psalms 12 and verse 3. It says, it said, Salakia, not 3, my apologies. Psalms 12 and verse 8, it says, the wicked walk on every side when the vilest men are exalted. And who are the vile? You know what I mean? Edom, right? Esau. And if you want to get more specific, the so-called white man. You know what I mean? These men are the vile. These men are the ones that control the runnings of this world. Seen? That's the race, Edom, the family, the people, the nation that controls the world that we're living in. Specifically the elites of that nation. Right? So because these men, these vile men, the base men are exalted, you know what I mean, the wicked will walk on every side. Seen? Let's see. This is... right, so this is the word wicked from the script, right? Strong's H 7563, right? Rasha, right? Wicked, criminal, guilty one guilty of crime, right? It said from the root, basically the root from H7561, right? Rashai. So let me double check it. Rashai, Salaki, Rashai. You know what I mean? Morally wrong, concretely, actively bad person, condemned, guilty, ungodly, wicked man that did wrong. You know what I mean? And we know that it's all going back to that specific nation of people, which is Edom. Alright? So what we did there? Yeah, let me get this one. Let me get this as well. This one. This is Ecclesiasticus 34 and 21. It says, the bread of the needy is their life. He that defraudeth him thereof is a man of blood. He that taketh away his neighbor's living slayeth him, and he that defraudeth the labor of his hire is a bloodshedder. Right, these men are defrauding us of our hire. Right, meaning, going back to what I said just a while ago, we are not getting paid fair wages. Basically, we are not being paid fair wages. Seen? And it all, one can say, oh, it's the minimum wage it's where it's at because of the economy and inflation and so on and etc. But who actually controls the economy? Who actually make the economy where it is or what it is? See, these men evade taxes while you have to pay tax. The scripture tell us, the scripture tell you who free, right? You know what I mean? Them when they pay taxes, just just a paraphrase, right? If you're subjected to payments, right? So therefore, you are the servants. We are the servants. Seen? So we not get paid fair wages, plus we have to pay taxes, right? While these men collect all of the profits, right, or a majority of the profits, and not so like you're collecting a majority of the profits and not paying taxes. These men don't pay tax. See, these men do all kind of shady business or shady movements, you know what I mean, for keep them wealth, right, and for also keep the poor poor and middle class. See, alright, say, and he that defraudeth the laborer of his hire is a bloodshedder. When one buildeth and another pulleth down, what profit have they then but labor, right? And also the scripture tell us, say, oh, Salaki, not the scriptures, you have the, when you have things like a 42 or 48, basically the laws of power, seen, so yeah, 42 laws of power, 48, I think of 42 still. See, let me just come on the internet right there, so. Right, when you have things like, you know, the laws of power, when you actually read through these things, I haven't gone through all of them, but the few that you know, me go over or me see or read or come across, it's just pure wickedness, right? It's literally, these things are literally just telling us, yo, in order to become powerful, wealthy or whatever, you need to walk over people, deal with people less than, put yourself above others, you know what I mean, cheat, you know, right? That's what these laws of power represent. Seen, or if you say just that these are examples of the laws of power, and who really have the power in this society, Esau, Edom, right? So therefore you can see, you already can see the connection why these so-called, why things are being done this way, you know, why you have to do these things in order to become a millionaire or a billionaire, I should say. Seen, let's see what it says. Come on. Come. There we go. Oh yeah. Okay, it's 48. Right, the 48 laws of power. Right. Alright. And yeah, just to add this, you know, going back to the laws of power, cause, you know, all of them aren't bad, really. All of them aren't bad, because they can still look upon some of them from a spiritual perspective, you know what I mean. But there are some, you know, that basically have you put yourself above others, you see me. Anyways, let's go to this is oh, I know exactly what I'm going for. This is alright, so this is St. John 10 and verse 10. It says, the thief cometh not but for to steal and to kill and to destroy, right? I am come that they might have life, and that they might have it more abundantly. Alright, so yeah, you know, these men are actually robbers, thieves, spoilers, right? Them plunder, right? The scripture tell us, yo, right, these men not only does steal your labor or steal wealth, right? Them go about, them steal inheritances, them steal them steal your estates, right? Your land. See, if you go to if you check in Africa, right? You know, the continent of Africa, aka the land of Canaan. You know what I mean? A lot of these European countries rely on Africa, not just European countries, but you know, a lot of these countries from around the world rely on the resources that come from Africa. You know what I mean? And you know, other nations as well, because there's other suffering nations that, man, when you look at some documentaries on YouTube, bro, you really see how much, you know, people are suffer, right? But really and truly, we don't really give, you know, much care to the heathen, you know. But for Israel's sake, you know what I mean, we focus on, you know, the possible Israelites where actually I go through the curses, seen. But I think I do a little bit of rambling right now, so let me see if we can get this back on track. Let's go back to the video.
0.3%. That's a difference of nearly 50% labor value. So already billionaires are stealing 50% or more of their workers' labor value so that it can sit around in investment funds and stock portfolios, providing nothing of value to society. And when we start to take certain other things into account, it gets even worse. There are currently over 582,000 homeless people in the United States, many of which are children. And in the year 2020, there were more than 34 million food insecure people in the United States. That's about 10% of the population that doesn't know where their next meal is going to come from. Now, do you know how much it would cost to end homelessness in the United States? According to the Department of Housing and Urban Development, it would cost $20 billion to end homelessness in the United States. And there are currently 770 billionaires in the United States, putting aside the fact that Elon Musk alone could end homelessness for half the cost of what he paid for Twitter. If we split it up evenly across all 770 of them, each of them would only have to pay out a lowly $26 million. And yet, despite the ease with which they could end homelessness...
Right, and yet these men call themselves philanthropists and, you know, like Bill Gates, or caring about the environment and, you know, all this crap, when really and truly these men don't give a damn about anything other than themselves, right? And again, even if they wanted to, let's say, for example, let's say Elon Musk wanted to end homelessness in America or end world hunger or whatever. One, it is not in the will. It's not the will of the Most High. And two, the elites control whatever happen in this. What happens in this society, right? There is nothing will happen. There is nothing that just happens on its own. You know what I mean? These men have a hand in everything that takes place on this earth, believe it or not. You know what I mean? When you see how all of these major companies we probably never even heard of before, you know what I mean? When you see how all of these companies, what do you call it now? Right, yeah, when you see how all of these companies tie into each other, you know what I mean? Everything basically goes up the scale or up the pyramid, then, you know, to more and more hidden companies, right? Basically what I'm saying is everything fall under one, right? Just so, yeah, you know, the majority of these popular companies are, you know, major companies, them all fall under some umbrella together. Pepsi, Coca-Cola, with what? Unilever, all of these companies, whether pharmaceutical companies, food companies, clothing companies, right? All of them fall basically under the same thing. Seen, for lack of a better term. It's the best way we can put it, right? Let me just say again.
In the United States, billionaires are wasting their money on vanity projects like dying in a sub at the bottom of the ocean and buying Twitter.
Yeah.
There is no room for billionaires in an ethical society. They quite
exactly, and as the man rightfully say, you know, these men can easily end homelessness, end hunger. People don't have to suffer in this world. But as me say, those who run the society, them set it for go that way. Right? They want it to be like that. See, them no want everybody to be on the same level. Right? And even if you know, them were to end suffering or end certain suffering or whatever, where everybody can live comfortably, you know what I mean, them, it still wouldn't put them below or equal to any away upon the low same way, you see me. But really and truly, these men don't want it to be like that, right? They don't want it to be like that. Haiti could have easy well bounced back from the 2020 earthquake, sorry, 2010 earthquake. Even though a lot of major, every earthquake will go on at Haiti could have easy well bounced back with help from the so-called billionaires that that are in this world today, right? But because we do not live in an ethical world, we don't live in a righteous society, that is not going to happen. That is not the case. Seen? And you know, and just to show you the hypocrisy of these people, you know, I mean, me's a football fan, aka Americans know it as soccer, but me's a football fan, and of late, you know, people, well, not really of late, but a long time, people have been going in on anything where Saudi Arabia or any of those Middle Eastern Arabian countries, those rich Arabs, anything with them have to do with football, right? People like to call it sports washing, you know, and them point out how these men their country has no human rights and ray. Yeah, I mean, or them get rich off of such and such a slave labor and ray. But when you put into perspective, man like Bill Gates, Elon Musk, Jeff Bezos, and all of the other billionaires that actually exist, you know what I mean, what different are they doing, you see me, or what them do different where the Saudi Arabians were different from what the Saudi Arabians them do, right? Since the Saudi Arabians them get them wealth by ill means, right? What kind of good these other billionaires do? Forget that, yo. Seen? You know what I mean? Just go for show you the hypocrisy of the Edomite nation, yeah. Seen? But let me just finish up the last of the video and read one more precept, and then we can
simply shouldn't exist.
Alright, so these are the last precept. Ecclesiasticus 10 and 8. It says, because of unrighteous dealings, because of unrighteous dealings, injuries, and riches got by deceit, the kingdom is translated from one people to another. Right? And that's exactly what's gonna happen. The kingdom is gonna be translated from the wicked, right? The wicked rulers to the righteous. You know what I mean? Let me get one more. Alright, this is, let me get, just finish up with this, verse 29. Right, so this is Proverbs 29 and verse 2. It says, when the righteous are in authority, the people rejoice, but when the wicked bear rule, the people mourn. Alright, so with that, hopefully this was edifying more. Say, Kalalalem La Yahweh Bashim Shai, Bashim Rakakodash, double honors to the apostles of Great Millstone. Shalom.